Hi, have you had trouble with your developpés? Do you find when you're in the centre, you find yourself wobbling? It's fine when you're at the bar, you can hold the bar and you're fine. But when you're in the centre, you find yourself wobbling, struggling to control your developpés and your adage in general. I have some tips for you. So my name's Claire and my mission is to help everyone get better at ballet. And I've been teaching ballet for 10 years, having been a professional dancer for 20 years before that, and pretty much done ballet or jazz or modern or some kind of dancing almost every day of my life, apart from the 8 years where I was a scuba diving instructor. But that's another different story. Anyway, I'm gonna give you some really helpful tips that will help you really nail that control of balancing whilst you're doing a développé in the centre. And it's all about your supporting leg. Generally, instinctively, we tend to think about the gesturing leg, the leg that's being lifted, the leg that's doing the tendu, what we used to call the working leg. But actually now, realistically, we know that both legs are working equally hard, your supporting leg and the gesturing leg, okay? And when you're doing something in the center, I recommend actually focusing a little bit more on that supporting leg because basically that's your foundation. If you think of your center, your core, and you yourself as being the vertical element of a crane, and with all your muscles engaged in the correct way, being like the nuts and bolts all tightened up on that crane, and your just general holding of the turnout being the ballast on that crane, then you'll be able to lift your leg. If you kind of don't think about the supporting side, it's like all the nuts and bolts are slightly loosened on that crane. So when you start to lift that arm up to pick something up, it's going to start wobbling, the crane's going to fall over, or you're going to be just constantly compensating to try and keep yourself steady. So think of it like a crane. I know I don't like to encourage tension whilst dancing. However, when you're doing an exercise like a développé in the centre, you do need to have a certain element of switched onness of your muscles, which to some of you might feel like tension. If you're not used to using those muscles, it might feel like, oh my gosh, this is quite hard work, okay? So it's finding that happy medium. You only want to have the muscles engaged that you really need so that your upper body can be nice and relaxed, your neck can be relaxed, your fingertips, your arms can be relaxed, whilst all the muscles in your back and your core and your legs are working in their respective manner, okay? So here are my tips. First of all, as I said, think of your support. I'm going to stand here. So when you're standing ready to do a développé, I'm going to stand in third or fifth. You're going to really work making sure that those hips are neutral, so engaging your lower belly muscles and also your piriformis to hold the turnout and your adductors to draw the legs across. So you've got a lovely tight starting position. This is all working really quite hard in ballet in order to hold that turnout. If I relax, that starts to happen, yes? So everything starts to roll into its natural position, which is parallel. So we're going to start from a really strong supporting position and also show that peel of that foot. That gives you a millisecond before you pick the foot up off the floor to transfer your weight onto that back leg. And I'm now really engaging my quads and my piriformis to hold the turnout and keep this leg super strong. I'm also thinking core here. And then I'm going to peel that leg. I'm going to keep that little toe in contact with the front, whatever part of my leg is at the front, which again helps that proprioception. And then I'm going to think knee back and then extend it forward. And then float it down and then close it. I did a little bend on my knee then. I went to do a plie for some reason. I don't know why. So you're really thinking about that supporting thing, but also the element of having that peel not only makes your foot look nicer because it shows that arch in the ankle before you point your toes, but it also works your feet in a beautiful way. And then keeping that connection between your leg and your supporting leg and your gesturing leg, feeling that connection all the way really helps ensure that you've got that connection. It's almost like creating a circuit, like an electricity circuit. It gives you that proprioception that makes your body stay as a solid unit. If it starts to waver away from your leg, then it gets really hard to control. And again, breathing while you're doing it. Breathe in, keep breathing in. And then as you lower that leg, you're thinking of lengthening that leg. Imagine someone's got your big toe pulling out, whilst also thinking of lengthening the back of your neck as well. And then that basically will give you that control. So as you float that leg down, you almost appear to grow. Another thing is the arms. Again, thinking of pulling those armpits down and elbows lifted when they're in second. And that'll give you that control. Oh dear, I've nearly knocked my flowers over. Give you that lovely control in your back that will again help complement the control in your core and the control of your legs. And hopefully, because that's all being held here, and because you're not wobbling, you're not going to be going like that and feeling really super tense. I hope that helps. So, things to think of. Think of that foundation, your core. Think of holding the turnout in the back of your legs. Think of your supporting leg being really engaged. Spread your toes, I didn't mention this, spread your toes out on the floor like fingers so you can feel them, because if they're like that, they can just very subtly make any little adjustments you need. And making sure the weight is actually, majority of your weight is on the pad of your foot, the ball of your foot here. And that will help make sure your weight is in the right place. And then, as I said, keeping that toe against the shin, and then thinking of extending the toe forward while holding the knee back to keep that turnout as you're doing it. And again, feeling that lengthening the whole time will help give it that lovely lengthening, feeling that lovely stretch as you're doing the developpé. I hope that helps. If you want to know more, click subscribe and follow, and then you'll see regular tips from me. I'm so sorry I haven't posted for a couple of weeks. I literally lost my voice. I had no voice at all. It's literally like a whisper. And even now I can hear it's still a bit croaky. So I do apologise for not having been in touch sooner and shared more tips over the last couple of weeks. But I'm back and my voice is coming back, and I shall see you soon. If you want to dance with me, click on bridgeballet.co.uk and you can attend classes live, either online, you may not be in England, so you can join me live via Zoom or on site if you happen to live in Kent. Or if you want to take classes in your own time, it could be that you're in Australia or New Zealand and 10 o'clock in the UK is not a good time for you, especially on a Saturday. So why not join the bridgeballet.club? And that way you can enjoy one of my classes anytime, night or day. Looking forward to seeing you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.